Welcome to Discussion Sentai Loserger. I'm Loser Blue,
And I'm Loser Yellow.
and this is a show where we talk about the newest episodes of Kamen Rider and Super Sentai. This week we're going to be talking about Kamen Rider Zeztz, episode 14, and Gozyuger, episode 42. We always start with Rider. So, Yellow, what are your thoughts on this week's episode of Zeztz?
Episode 14 of Kamen Rider Zeztz is really pushing the envelope for story-based storytelling.
Yeah, I love story-based storytelling. It's my favorite.
Hell yeah.
Okay, I think what you're trying to get at is it was very much an episode about the serialized story of this series, right? You know, it's not about some random guy and his dream that doesn't really make a lot of sense. It is just about the actual plot and what's going on with Code and Nox and stuff like that.
Yes, which really makes me think that Code just is going to be the villain. Code bad guy.
Yeah, I mean, it's leaning that way. I think it'll end up being kind of like weirdly gray. Like eventually Zets will be like, I don't really trust you guys, but I will kind of work with you, but I'm not going to like follow your orders. Like that's how it's going to end. Like I'm not going to follow your orders directly, but I will try to generally go in the same direction because they do want to save humanity. They just are doing it in a morally ambiguous way, something like that. It's kind of like they don't really like each other, but there's a common enemy somewhere.
Yeah.
I think that's how it'll end up.
But what common enemy is there really going to be? Is it going to be the nightmares? Because
Yeah,
already it's looking like the Zets powers are just the abilities of nightmares. Because several times in this episode, we see Nox fighting like shadow clones of Zets, which are nightmares. I'm going to assume it's like him trapped in his own nightmare.
yeah. I'm not sure they were Shadow Clones of Zets. They had like there was like one, and it did have somewhat humanist, like a humanoid shape, but
Yeah,
it was kind of ambiguous. It could have been himself, because it's something to do with like his fear,
mm,
and his fear could be something to do with him being an agent and whatnot. But there needs to, I guess, be a more overarching villain that needs to be introduced somewhere, unless it is just Code. Like there needs to be the Nightmare Council or something that shows up, and it's like an actual like I'm a nightmare, but I'm fully sentient and I can do stuff.
yeah. I'm feeling like if it's going to be something like that, it has to happen relatively soon. This is episode 14, so we're just about one third into the series at this point.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of writer shows lately have been doing kind of like arcs. So this is probably mostly the arc that's dealing with Nox, and at the end of it, we'll learn more about Code,
Yeah.
stuff like that, and they'll introduce more stuff to fill out arcs as we go forward. But actually, let's talk about the specifics of this episode. Our boy is Baku is trapped in his own mind through the black hole at the beginning of this episode,
Yeah.
and he goes like into his own nightmare where we see him as a kid getting struck by lightning.
That is one of the bad luck things that happened to him, right?
Yeah, that has been stated. Now, I'm curious because he converts that lightning into a power in this episode. Did that lightning give him his abilities? Because lightning does all kinds of weird stuff in fiction, right?
Yeah.
Getting struck by lightning unlocked a section of his brain that lets him do something in the dream realm. I don't know.
Well, they did say at one point that him getting struck by lightning was the inciting incident for him having all these nightmares, all the bad dreams. So that would make
Yeah,
sense.
and that's why I like that he converts that into a power. Like it's fitting for him. It's like this is the impetus of everything, and it's now my lightning power. Boom.
Yeah.
And we see after that he joins the special code class, where they look at iPads. They are iPad children. Real social commentary.
Yeah.
No, okay. But it's like some. I would assume that that's like a code. Like they're raising agents. Like they're teaching these children how to, lucid dream and access the dream realm,
Yeah.
so they could later be used as agents. I'm sure not all of them succeeded, you know? I'm sure like a lot of them didn't fully unlock it, but Baku clearly did because
Yeah,
they're using him as an agent.
I
That would
I
be my
didn't count the
guess.
number of students, so
Well, I mean, the number of students wouldn't even matter because he's
yeah,
7 and Nox is 4, and Nox was the teacher. So
yeah,
no, that could mean that there are, 5 and 6 could be students in that classroom too, and maybe
yeah.
they'll show up.
I feel like something involving these other agents is going to happen. Like Zero, we already know is probably code names like Zero,
Well, yeah.
but
No, well,
1 through 3 and 5 through 7, they're gonna
yeah,
show up in the next arc. They're gonna be the next arc's villains because Code's an evil organization or something like that.
entirely possible.
7
But
Riders, final villain Zero, calling it right now.
oh god, I don't want 7 writers. I've really liked that this series has had like one writer. Obviously now we have Nox Knight. I don't know if he's technically considered a writer yet.
I feel like it's inevitable that he will be.
Yes. I guess it's primarily just because he doesn't say henshin. I forget exactly what Japanese word he uses, but the translation is disguise. So it's not transform. I don't know really what's the significance of that, but it excludes him from being a writer, obviously. So yeah, a weird child dream soldier program, and Baku has completely forgotten it until this moment. It was erased from his mind, and he thinks Nox did it, which makes sense. Nox's power is called erase, so
Hmm.
him erasing memories isn't like out there.
Now, the new ability in this episode, Plasma, really cool. The yellow suit just works, and I like how he got a new weapon as well with the bow.
Yeah, it's the classic blade bow. You see this a lot. I've seen this in a few writers and Sentai. Just it's a bow that's also just a sword,
Yeah,
effectively. And it has the weird pull thing because obviously they don't want to have an actual bowstring. It's like a weird pull lever.
yeah,
I like them. They're cool. I do like it. This kind of gold yellow suit. I will say, it's just yellow Zeztz, right?
yeah,
Which is a little lame, but we saw in the preview that it is going to get extra stuff in the next episode. That
yeah.
was pretty clear and I've seen the images of it with extra stuff. So
Is this new base form?
I don't think so. I don't think so, just because I think eventually he'll get the color back and all of the what's it called, all the capsums. Like it's just going to happen. That way we can continue to use those forms so kids will see them and go, I want that toy.
Yeah, please. I need the wing capsum. Wing is cool. Please, father.
Christmas gift.
It's right
Yeah,
around the corner.
you're right around the corner. Next episode's gonna be like a Christmas episode. Whatever.
Yeah,
So there's that, and we see that like Nox went into his own dream, I guess, to fight his own nightmare. I guess if he beats his own nightmare, which is probably it'll probably be when he beats his own nightmare and stuff. That'll be his big character development moment where he becomes more of a good guy.
yeah.
Right? He'll overcome his personality flaws, beat his nightmare, and be able to wake up and be a real person.
Now, we do have 3 people that are currently trapped in coma-like states, and that is Baku, Nox, and Nem.
Well, I assume Baku's gonna wake up. I assume
Yeah,
Baku's about to
Baku's
wake up.
definitely gonna wake up.
Like, I think like beginning of next episode, he will just wake up because he kind of beat Nox. He kind of let
Mm,
him go too. So,
yeah. Like, I feel like they're starting to kind of see each other from each other's perspectives, in a way.
uh, maybe it's gonna get to that. They just need to more openly talk, and Nox needs to stop talking in stupid riddles.
Yeah.
Like, tell me what Code's up to. And he's just like, there's a deep darkness in Code. It's like, what does that mean? What that doesn't explain anything. You're just saying that Code is evil. Why? He needs to stop talking like that.
Elaborate. We need the Nox flashback episode.
I agree. We do need a Nox flashback episode to learn, how he got trapped, what Code is up to, and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But whatever, it's fine. They have a big fight. We kind of learn more about Code at the end when Baku is pressing Nox up against a wall. But not really. It's just kind of an ambiguous. Code is probably kind of evil, or at least not the good guy. Not like fully the good guys. A means to the end kind of good guys where they're willing to do some shady stuff.
Yeah.
We do get some fun dialogue between Zero and the sister, whose name I've forgotten.
The sister.
Yeah, her. Where he basically Zero is basically just like, yeah, yeah, it's a dirty job. That's the reality of secret agents. I'll use your brother as I want. You can't stop me. Definitely making Zero to be a lot more villainous, which is fine. It'd be kind of boring if he was just a good guy, right? If he
Yeah,
was just
it would.
unambiguously good. Having code be ambiguous is fun. The cops are investigating stuff in this episode. They don't really accomplish anything, but
Yeah, not really.
they're doing stuff.
I completely forgot what they were really investigating. Like Fujimi just showed up sitting in his car at one point.
Fujimi went and talked to the artist from the artist episode,
Oh
and
yeah.
Nazca went to various museums and art exhibits to see if they know anything about Nox. And I think they all came up basically zero, like they got nothing. So it's whatever. But yeah, no. Episode had good fights. It advanced the story. We learned a bit more, raised more questions, which is always fun. Cool suit, cool fight. I don't know. Pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay. Then Gozyuger episode 42. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, episode 42 of Number One Sentai Gozyuger is really bringing us into the end game now.
Yeah.
Real good. So,
Yeah, I mean, it's all plot. There wasn't any kind of bullshit. It was just let's invade the no one world.
yeah, nice little field trip.
Yeah, seatbelts everyone. We're going on a field trip.
So we find out that, oh no, all the Sentai rings were stolen. I wonder by who?
Yeah, no. The beginning of that episode, as soon as he showed up and said that, I was just like, it was Kuon. There's no way it wasn't Kuon.
Yeah, 110%. There was no chance it was anyone else.
No, so that's a thing, and they all go on high alert to find stuff, and then our Ghost users show up. Meanwhile, Tega June was going full Tega mommy and trying to get a good burn on her side,
Yeah, traps good burn in the Bridan nursery.
and then brings him to a theater, which like it kind of baits you out and make you think that she's gonna go full Clockwork Orange brainwashing on him. And it's just another
So,
stupid puppet show.
it's like, oh, time to begin the re-education program. I'm like, oh no, are they really doing this?
And then it's just another joke. But I mean, jumping to like the end of it a little bit, this episode really shows Tega June that she'll probably be redeemed by the end, actually, because Kuon literally states that she has learned to love her own creations,
Yeah.
and that's a good positive thing. So that leads to a possible ending where her and Tega Sword are on good terms. I mean, they're already married, so
They're gonna renew their vows?
yeah, they're gonna renew their vows. They're gonna be a big happy family.
Yeah.
But a re-education of Good Burn. Good Burn is such a kind of a pointless character. It's really weird. He's set up to be like kind of important when he shows up, like when he's created.
Yeah.
Prince of Destruction and stuff. And then he like shows up, I don't know, 8 times across 50 episodes, right? Like it's
Yeah.
nothing. It's a pretty bad showing, and he has never had any plot relevance. Now, to be fair, you could say that just about the entire white team in general. Like the polar team, just in general was not great in terms of their showing. So that's unfortunate, but oh well. Good Burn's important now, sorta. They save him at the end, so he can go back to being irrelevant now.
Now he's gonna become super relevant now. This is where they push all the good burn story from here on out. How he's gonna have to redeem Mother.
Well, now it's more save Mother based on
Yeah,
the
save
end.
Mother.
But before we get to that, I guess we should talk about what the Ghost users are actually up to when they burst in. I mean, for the most part, they just fight the Bridan.
Yeah.
They're not really doing much. The main thing is Bouquet and Rikuo and their stuff, where we learn it doesn't matter that he killed your sister. He's really good at singing, and thus you need to forgive him.
He's really good at singing.
And he's hot, and he's just so hot. You have to forgive him.
Yeah.
Again, that whole section is really weak, just because I don't know.
It was
It
too
doesn't feel like
quick.
one, it's too quick. Two, it never felt like he did anything that good for her. Like he's nice to her at a few points, and he's an idol who sings and stuff. But I don't know. I never felt like he ever was that good to her as right in any kind of exceptional way.
Well, Blue, this is why you have to go watch a lot of J-pop idols and then get back to us next week.
No.
Come on, you gotta tell us who your favorite J-pop idol is. Like,
I
you'll
couldn't even
understand
name
after
one.
you have one. It's
Yeah,
important.
that whole thing was a little quick. Although to be fair, you could say that about a lot of stuff in Gozyuger, just in general. This show really likes to introduce something and then wrap it up like real quick.
Yeah.
You know, Tyranno leaves. He's back like 3 episodes later. Shiny Knife kills his wife.
She's
And
back 2 episodes later.
She's back 2 episodes later. The Calamity is introduced there. They're defeated like 3 episodes later. And they're just not brought up again. It always like rushes through these things, and it's
Whoa, slow down
annoying.
there. The Calamity was mentioned this episode.
Yeah.
Shining Knife is like, yo, Eagle. Remember how you snapped me out of that Calamity brainwashing? Thanks for that. By the way, let's get back to this fight.
Yeah, we got Goju Eagle's 5 seconds of screen time as he's legally obligated to have, and is
Yes,
only
union
allowed that.
mandated 5 seconds of screen time.
Exactly. Because Goju Eagle, he's not allowed to be important ever.
No.
At the end of the series, we need to rank the Gojujers.
Oh yeah, we do.
I feel I want to put Eagle pretty high up because I like, despite his lack of screen time, I like him a lot. Which is the opposite of Polar, who also doesn't get a lot of screen time, and I dislike him a lot.
Yeah, Polar isn't a very strong character.
No, unfortunate. But whatever. I mean, I understand why Eagle wasn't like huge in this one because it was mostly about Blue and it was mostly about Polar and a bit of Red.
Yeah, like everyone was
There's-
just kind of split up, having their own fights with their token Bridan enemy.
So like that's all fine. Again, regrow stuff a bit fast, a bit like I don't really get it. Now, to be fair, I also don't really get why she's so attached to Ribbon because Ribbon just also dies really fast.
Yeah, but it was her sister, so
Yeah, it's fine. I understand that one a lot more than the Rikuo stuff, but it's still fast, right? I feel like Ribbon should have been introduced more in like, I don't know, episode 25.
yeah, that would have made a lot more sense.
I forget when she was actually introduced, but she's not around for long.
She was around like 5 episodes, not even.
Yeah. If she's introduced like in episode 25 or something and she died when she did, that would be a decent chunk of time, I think.
Yeah.
But as it stands, also some stuff got cut, obviously. I think it was episode 38, like the real episode 38 that we've never seen, was obviously Ribbon being bad.
Mhm.
Like Ribbon doing some bad stuff. But we didn't get to see that, so she still feels a lot weaker of a character.
So, Bouquet learns to love again.
Good for her.
And now she's just in love, like just straight in love with Rikuo.
I guess. She's passed out at the end. We'll have to see how she actually acts towards him in the next episode.
Yeah.
But let's see. Red doesn't do that much until right at the end, where he confronts Kuon. He fights Fire Candle again. The best character. Love Fire
Best character in the
Candle.
whole series. Fire
Love
Candle's
him.
like, bro. However, you and me, we always have the best fights. Yo, can we just fight all the time?
All the time. He's great.
But to get into the real meat and potatoes of the episode.
Well, the before I guess you're talking about Kuon. Before that, we should just briefly talk about Polar. Polar saves Good Burn and does nothing else, and he's still an uninteresting character that I don't like. Anyway, now we can talk about Kuon.
Yeah. Wow, Kuon stole all the rings. Kuon betrayal. Big surprise.
Yeah, I don't know which episode we talked about it, but I think we exactly predicted that this would happen, that he would get absorbed into Tega Junes and take over.
Yeah.
It's a very obvious twist once you learn that he's getting absorbed into Tega Junes, right? It was obviously going to happen.
But it turns out it was the other way around, and Kuon absorbs Tega Junes instead.
Yeah, well, he gets absorbed in, but then like he takes over it's weird. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I love that shot where Tega Junes is human sized and he's the giant head of the door.
Yep.
That's the thumbnail. I want that to be the thumbnail. That stupid shot. It's so I couldn't help laughing. It was so funny. But yeah, he takes over and he goes evil and gets a really bad haircut.
Yeah, he has like the really long, like
Well,
white
he gets
strand of
really
hair.
yeah, he gets really bad hair extensions and colored contact.
Yo, but did you see what color contact that was? It was gray, which means Kuon is calamity pilled.
Uh maybe. But I think what's his name? Ray? Ray
Yeah,
was his name, right? I think Ray had gray eyes before he was calamity pilled. I think he always had gray eyes. So I
yeah,
don't
I
think
think
that's
so.
necessarily a sign of the calamity. But I could totally
Um,
see Kuon going for calamity stuff.
yeah.
Like that's not out there. Unfortunately, the next episode, like in the preview, it said something about like the Kuon climax. So like, are we gonna deal with that in like one episode
No,
already?
please no.
Because again, this series does things so fast. When it actually tries to do stuff, when it's not just being episodic, funny episodes, which I do like, it just goes through things really fast. And if this is over in like an episode, or like Kuon does some stuff, they beat him, and then I don't know, the Calamity shows up, it'll feel weird, and I wouldn't like it. But yeah,
They,
no, Kuon fully shows his true colors here.
give it another 2 episodes after the Christmas episode, because next week is a Christmas episode. Like straight up, it's nothing else other than Christmas.
I mean, we'll see. Remember the Christmas episode of Kamen Rider Zeztz? They're not fully afraid to be mean on Christmas.
Oh yeah, our boy Laser died on Christmas.
Yeah, they just straight killed him there. Now, to be fair, that was Rider. Rider is aimed slightly older, so they're less likely to do that in a in a Sentai, I think.
Yeah.
But whatever. Kuon shows his full colors, and he like talks to Hoer, and he's like, "Yeah, you're my prey now. I'm not under any orders now. I want to hurt you because I want to, because he's mean." I do kind of like how unapologetically kind of awful he is. I hope he never gets a redemption. I would hate if he did.
No, I don't want a Kuon redemption. He needs to just be a baddie bad guy.
And like he can lose and like I don't know, get absorbed by the calamity or something like that. You know, some kind of pathetic end to him where he gets beaten by someone else who has even someone more evil with even greater power. Something like that could work.
Yeah.
Or just being beaten by his brother, who's a good guy. Also
Hmm.
fine. I just don't want him to end up being a good guy. That would be lame. I do want the rest of the Bridan to be good. And honestly, I could see it happening because they set up that Tega June has learned to actually love her creations. She got mad when one of her creations was hurt. So that's cool. Like that, and that can easily lead into her getting redeemed and the Bridan being good guys.
I feel like there wouldn't be a reason for them to set up the Tega June rings if they weren't going to get used by the Bridan.
They have I would love if the Bridan used the Tega June rings and they have their own little Sentai. That'd be so cool.
Everyone fights the final big bad, and it would be rad.
Because there were 4 of those rings, right?
Yeah.
She created 4 of them. So yeah, one for bouquet, one for fire candle, then one for shining knife, and one for sweet cake. And they can either split, or they could just their like suit could be just be half and half,
Yeah.
just like they already are, and that would be fine too. I would love that. Whether or not it'll really happen, it's so late in the series now. It feels like something like that should have been introduced like a while ago, so the kids could, you know, see the suits and want to buy the toys.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Yeah, we haven't seen those rings like since that time she showed up and fought the calamity a little bit. You know, it feels like a Chekhov's gun that hasn't been fired yet.
It's coming.
I was pretty happy. I hope they don't rush to conclusions. That's all I really have to say at the end of it. Just don't
Yeah.
rush to conclusions again, like they are wants to do in this show.
Please, just end it on a good note. Like do a good ending for it.
I would hate a lackluster ending, considering this will be the last Sentai we get for probably, I want to say, at least 5 years.
Yeah, I feel like Project Red will at least last 5 years.
I don't know.
It is the only major toku that hasn't taken some sort of reasonable hiatus. So
Yeah, because what was it? Kamen Rider went off for like a decade or so.
Yeah.
I forget the exact amount of time.
And Ultraman was off for like 5 years or something. And several times, I think.
Yeah, I don't think Ultraman has ever been quite as consistent as either like current Rider and Sentai. But I don't know. I don't know much about Ultraman.
Metal Hero showed up like twice, 3 times.
Yeah. Well, Metal Heroes I think was originally supposed to kind of fill the gap of Rider, like
Yeah.
initially. I think that whatever, it doesn't matter. Project Red is early February. I think that's the official release date.
I think it's February 15th is our first Project Red Day.
Yeah, I think someone looked at the dates for it, and considering there'll probably be a week off for like New Year's or something, Gozyuger will probably be 49 episodes.
Yep. The true 49th Sentai.
I'm sure. Yeah. It is unfortunate that the 50-year thing is not 50 episodes long, but that's a really minor thing. Like, whatever.
Yeah.
I just hope it ends well. Anyway, I think that's all we have to say. We're repeating ourselves now.
Yeah, we are.
So, okay. This has been this week's episode of Discussion Sentai Loserger. If you liked the episode, please like, subscribe, leave a comment. We'd love to hear from you. See you next week. Bye.